She was a state champion, a dedicated coach, and a fighter. Jenna Patala, a 28-year-old woman from Turners Falls, died Sunday after a 3-year battle with sarcoma.
Western Mass News reporter Matt Price shares her legacy.
She put a lot of time into me and really made sure that I got the support that I needed in the game.
An emotional Taylor Murphy says Jenna Patala was that kind of friend and that kind of human. A 4-time state champion with Turners Falls High School, Patala was a true teammate both on and off the field.
She was extremely dedicated into teaching each person how to play their position.
Patala played softball at Wesleyan University, but injuries cut her playing career short. After graduating, she coached at both Babson College and Nichols College. She also restarted the Western Mass Warriors 18U team in the late 2010s, an organization that now fields 4 teams. For 3 years, Patala battled sarcoma, a rare tissue cancer. Even then, she raised awareness for others fighting the same disease. Chris Meddy, the president and coach of the Warriors 16U team, spoke to Western Mass News about her will to keep going despite her illness.
She was vested with every player that she coached. She kept up with, whether they're in college or whether they were, graduated and have had kids.
Turners Falls athletic director Jen Luciano says Patala stood tall and shined bright until her final day, just like the sunflower that became her symbol. On Monday, Turners Falls softball placed sunflowers on second base with the number 2 lit across the scoreboard. Murphy, Meddy, and his daughter Joss also placing sunflowers Wednesday on the Warriors practice field at Southampton's Norris Elementary School. They say Patala's legacy is about more than softball. It is about the lives she changed.
As she stopped being my coach, it was more like we became friends, which I enjoyed a lot, and I will miss that.
I miss talking to her every day just about softball, and then her life. She'll definitely be missed.
All of the Western Mass Warriors teams will be wearing patches honoring Patala during the upcoming months. As for Turners Falls High School, they plan on starting a scholarship fund in her name, as well as paying tribute to her next softball season. In Southampton, Matt Price, Western Mass News.